this week's video I'm bringing you with. Adelle and I were up in the Superior National Forest bombing down some of these old roads, and they go on for miles and miles. I downloaded a few offline maps, and I do have a paper map of this forest as well. These roads are a lot longer than some of the state forests that I take you on. Oh, it's starting to rain too. Oh boy. We came across a potential awesome boondocking spot. The only problem is I think this is a landing zone. It'd be like a heliport rescue point for people in the backcountry that run into problems out here. Otherwise, this looks like it would be mint. I mean, there are fire rings here, but it looks like the last people that were camping here, they didn't care if it was a heliport. To be honest, I don't think they really care about anything. This place is empty. I cannot remember how I found it either. Let's check it out. This place is remote. I don't think we have to worry about seeing anybody this weekend. Someone has been staying here a while. They've done some work. Let's get the camper set up. Look at that new glass. Nice. Last night, got off work, drove about 3 hours to get to Silver Bay, left at about 8 o'clock this morning. Right now, it's probably 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We finally came across this spot. I don't know how I found it, or when I found it. It was on my phone. I could have had it pinned for years for all I know. But we made it here, and it's empty. We checked probably 4 or 5 rustic campgrounds this morning. They were all full. We found a couple of nice boondocking spots, but none of them were on the water. Finally found what we were looking for. I'm gonna finish getting the camper set up, and then I'll show you around. Looks like we got 2 picnic tables and 2 fire rings. That one fire ring, it looks like it might be new. They maybe just dropped it off here and haven't actually installed it yet. Or maybe I should say new to this location anyways. But it's in really, really good shape. I think we'll be using this fire ring right here for the weekend. This will do just fine. Not seeing a lot of trash here. There's a little bit of evidence that people have been here recently though. And I think this is a pile from when they cleaned out the fire pit. You can see that there's some food there. Hopefully it hasn't been attracting the wildlife. There's 2 trails that are converging on this campsite, and I don't know if it's the Superior hiking trail or what. It might just be another tent site back here. Well, that's exactly what it is. Check it out. There's another fire ring. Doesn't look like anybody's used it in quite a while. What a beautiful spot. Here's the other trail, and I think before we go down it too far, we'll probably put some orange on. It is hunting season up here, and I've been seeing grouse hunters on the drive up, But I haven't seen anybody in probably 35, 45 minutes. Oh, there's a toilet. Sweet. It's a Ferguson. Someone was nice enough to put the toilet paper in a bag this time. Holy. Nope. All right. Adelle can use this bathroom. Good news, Adelle. They got a really nice bathroom out there for you. Let's get the heat on. It's been kind of a cold and windy day out today. We're tucked in the woods right now. Thought we'd go for a little bit of a walk. It's been raining out, clouds. Definitely not the best day to be right on the lake, but it's still beautiful here. We're in the northeast part of the state. It's called the Arrowhead. And this area looks a lot different than any other part of the state. I love this part of Minnesota though. It looks so much different than any other woods. We don't have cell service or anything like that out here. We ran out of that miles and miles ago. We do carry bear spray for walking around up here, but all we have in Minnesota is black bears. And I think I mentioned on last week's video, they're out foraging, looking for food. They're going to be settling down for the winter, so they're trying to put on as much weight as they can. There's really 2 times you don't want to mess with black bears, and right now is one of them, and then also when they have their cubs in the spring. This here looks like perfect moose habitat. How cool would that be to catch a big old bull moose on camera? I think they must have been up here logging recently. There's a couple of these big pull-off areas. I'm sure this is where hunters set up camp. Talking with a conservation officer here. Not too many people in the forest this weekend. I guess a lot of people are starting to head down south already. He was saying that the weather is going to change for the better sometime midweek. So we're stuck with a little bit of the cold and the wind, and that's probably why there's not as many hunters out here in the woods. I'll still take it though. There's a really strong wind coming off the lake, so I'm trying to bank up this fire pit. That way the fire doesn't get away from me tonight. One thing that conservation officer said to me is, "How did you find this place?" That's how I know I did my job. I love hearing that from the locals. Just got to put in the work.
Tonight we are making ribs for supper. I already patted them dry. All I need to do is take the skin off the back. I like to use a paper towel because it makes it a little bit easier to pull the skin off. Now I'm just gonna cut these guys in half. Next we're gonna finish it off with the seasoning. Remember to rub the seasoning in really good. Now we're gonna put the ribs in the Dutch oven. I'm gonna fill the Dutch oven a quarter of the way with water. Now we're gonna put the cover on and bring this to Dad.
I was really hoping this wind would calm down. We'll get these on the fire. They're gonna take a couple hours to get done. There is a noise coming from this woods. I don't know if it's like a raven or what, but it sounds like a big crow, but it doesn't sound happy. Let's see if we can find it. As soon as I walk in here, of course it's... Nope. Still this way more. It flew away, of course. One day, I'm gonna get some wildlife on this channel. What an awesome view. Well, the good news is I see steam coming out around the corners every once in a while. It's almost acting like a pressure cooker in there. I just gotta be careful. I don't wanna run out of water. It's crazy windy out there. Let's check it out. They've been on for about 2.5 hours. Looking pretty good. I'd say they're almost done. I think I might take them out of there and just put them right on the grate, finish them off. I'll just twist them around so they get a little bit of smoke. Should be good. I'm thinking it's time for these guys to come off. They smell so good. I can see my breath out there. It's not that cold. Oh, these look good. Adelle, you're gonna get half a rack and I'll get half. Adelle, she doesn't want to be on camera. Mandy doesn't want to be on camera. I know when I first started this channel, I didn't want to be on camera either. Supper, Adelle, check these out. Wow. Yeah, that is gonna be good. I'm sure there's some barbecue people that are watching that'll say, you're crazy to boil a set of ribs, but honestly, they taste really good. I like them this way, and I don't like a lot of sauce either. These are perfect. With that wind coming across the lake, Adelle and I decided to have a movie night in the camper. It's like 42 degrees outside, so not really cold, but cold enough. We're gonna just sit in here for a little while and call it a night eventually. We got the camper all cleaned up. It's time to go to bed. We'll see you in the morning. Adelle and I got up really early this morning. We wanted to head down to Lake Superior, check out the sunrise over the lake. You guys saw when I was pulling out though, I didn't have any tail lights. Thankfully I had to go back to get the camera and had to fix that issue. I jacked up the truck camper. What happened is the plug that goes into the camper, ground plug broke off. So I ended up digging it out, a little bit of aluminum foil. We got a good connection now. But this morning, I'm gonna take you and Adelle on a hike, but we're gonna have a little breakfast first. We're just sitting in the parking lot, overlooking the lake. I mean, it's a beautiful view, even with the clouds. Let's get breakfast going. We stopped this morning in Taconite Harbor. There's some boat landing here now, but back in the 50s, this was a bustling little community with as many as 22 homes. All of them are gone now. This town had a fire hall, basketball courts, community center, just like any other town. In a 4-bedroom house, you could pick up for $100 a month. It was in the 70s that the town started to fade away. There was concerns of pollutants and dust. By 1982, there was maybe 100 people left working at the plant. It was in 1986 when the Taconite company finally told everybody, we're packing up, moving out. And they offered them a chance to buy the homes at only $1, but stipulation is you have to move it onto your own property. Most of those homes went down to Silver Bay. You can still see them today. And in 1990, the final resident moved out. After that, Taconite Harbor, just a ghost town. Nature's pretty much reclaimed the property at this point. You can still see some of the roads down there. That's about it. I think they actually have a museum at the old Taconite Harbor plant, but we'll have to check that out one day. This place is a beautiful walk. I can already hear the water right down there. The water is really shallow this time of year. Normally this thing's just rushing. This is probably like my 3rd time here, but every time I come here, it's just more beautiful and more beautiful. I'm glad that I could bring Adelle here to experience it. This guy right here almost went right in there. Walking on these rocks and recording, it's not that easy. I can see the truck. We're getting close. That must mean we got this video in the bag. You guys have been hanging out with me and Adelle all weekend long. That's long enough. So until next Tuesday.
Be kind. kind, be honest, and we'll see you down the road.